and sisters, friends, enemies, and comrades. I hope you're doing well in this lovely day. It's a Monday, whatever I am. I know it's probably late in Kenya, it's early evening or whatever the case is. But karibuni sana, this is Kenya Revolutionary. I'll be here for a while. I'll just wanted to talk to you guys about what's going on in Kenya. Sorry, I'm trying to use different kind of ways of communicating my feelings on Kenyan politics. Sometimes I might do it through, kind of a studio setting in a room. I invite people. Sometimes, I just shoot with no picture. Sometimes I just shoot while I'm on the park, just strolling around, enjoying myself and speaking my mind freely. I like it differently. As long as I communicate my feelings to the audience. But karibuni sana. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have something to say, please communicate your feelings on your thoughts on the chat. But the first order of business, as usual, it's to do what? Like the video, and if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. Now. I'll be very brief. I won't hold you guys for long because I just want to communicate a few things here. You saw the video in Mombasa. I won't start with, I know there's a clip of Ruto, who was in the church with Pastor Lai. Pastor Lai has been there for a while. I think it's Redeemed Gospel Church or whatever the case is. But Pastor Lai, I had number one. Ruto was late for that whatever church thing. I don't know if that was the case, but regardless, he sat there and Pastor Lai was preaching about, people who are thieves and they're cursed and all that stuff. So there's that, but that's not the main issue. The main news was when Raila returned to Kenya from Dubai, obviously after the Ethiopian saga. He went to Dubai for a while, and you saw him with Junet and Hassan Joho. Then he flew back to Kenya today officially, and the first person he went to visit was William Samoei Ruto at the State House in Mombasa. You can see the pictures. He was grinning, gave a huge handshake to Ruto, and they were sitting there discussing stuff, and he released a press conference, which I thought was very interesting. And I don't think it was interesting per se, but it just gave you a glimpse of how Raila thinks of himself, and how he sees himself in the Kenyan politics. I think he thinks that he's really someone who people have to wait on in order to move on as far as the political direction that they want for Kenya, or the direction Kenyans want to move on. He thinks that people are waiting on him. Because if you listen to his speech carefully, and I didn't listen the whole thing, I just listened to a clip of it. And there was a sense of self-importance. He felt like the country cannot move on without him. Number one, he said that if you wanted to stall the process of AU, guys, if you remember, he gave up on the 6th round on the AU during AU. And there was a part where he said if you wanted to stall and prolong the whole process of AU, voting process, he could have done so. But since he's a big statesperson, he's a Pan-Africanist, he wanted to just let that guy win. Which, again, it's a false statement. I think the rules of the AU voting is that by the 6th round, you have to give up, okay? If you're not winning, you have to give up. If you're trailing by the 6th round, you have to give up, okay? So he's lying on that. But the main reason to me why he was lying also is I've been saying here the whole AU campaign was a money laundering scheme because he actually tried to elucidate on that 13 billion claim that was given to him for his campaign from the Treasury. He tried to say that, he doesn't know anything about 13 billion. All he knows that, the government of Kenya provided transportation, and as far as food is concerned, every country that he went to, they were providing food and all that stuff. So he doesn't actually know how much money was given to, was allocated for his campaign, which is another lie, okay? That's another lie. Meanwhile, the Auditor General, uh, through the news reports, reported that there was 3.2 or 3.5 billion that was allocated for the Raila AU campaign, okay? That was given to them, okay? Obviously, it might be more, but we don't know because there's no proper audit that has been conducted. And I doubt they will conduct any audit regarding this AU campaign money, all right? Like I said, this is something, there's smoke in that issue. Because remember, the Juja MP mentioned that Raila received 13 billion, and guess what? The DCI went for him, and the first thing they did was arrest him and kind of harass him, and they tried to stick some trumped up charges on him for simply questioning a pertinent question that majority of Kenya's taxpayers would like to know. How much was spent on the AU campaign? Okay, so for me, the mere fact that Raila Odinga actually mentioned anything about this campaign money, it shows me that it really bothers him. He's worried about people finding out how much he actually spent. Okay, it's an issue. The mere fact that he mentioned it, to me, just suggests that it's an issue and it needs to be audited. But again, knowing Kenya in a typical Kenyan fashion, no one will ask, no one will audit, the lawmakers will not try to find out and get to the bottom of this 13 billion. Okay, that's the unfortunate nature of our Kenyan politics. So, but anyway, the most interesting thing is when he was finishing his speech, and he told us that he will be having consultative meetings with different folks, okay, different friends of his and all that stuff, and then he will talk to us. So he told the Kenyan people, or whoever paid him any kind of attention, he told them to watch the space. I mean, when he said watch the space, I was sitting there listening to him and I was like, who does he think he is? I mean, you're telling people to watch the space, like Kenyans are holding their breath. They can't do anything. They have to wait for Raila Odinga, the great Raila Odinga, to show us the way forward. That is the hilarious nature about that speech. It kind of gives you a glimpse of his psyche, how he thinks of himself, okay? How important he thinks he is to Kenyans. I know his sycophants probably think he's a big deal because, he gave them some nomination, gave them some money here and there, so they gained from that. They became overnight millionaires because of the nomination that they received by, riding Raila's coattails and becoming all these corrupt politicians. But as far as any patriotic Kenya, you can see through this, and you can tell that Raila Odinga is basically part of the system, this corrupt system that got us where we are economically here, okay? And the kind of criminal apparatus that Ruto presides over. It is due to Raila Amolo Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta and the rest of them. I don't have to remind you or tell you or again rehash the whole setup, how it is. But yeah, so here we are. Raila Odinga made his statements and told us that, let's hold our breath. He's about to... You see how this game is being played? I mean, everyone is busy trying to, give us all this news. I mean, Wamunyoro was out there. I think he's about to have another press conference or whatever, interview in one of the, big stations. Now, I told you this. The number one reason why I tell you Wamunyoro, Karibu Shimiriam, like the video, please, guys. The reason why I told you that Wamunyoro is part of this corrupt gang, niliwaambia hivi, ask yourself, why are they giving Wamunyoro a platform to speak? if he's really anti-government, if they are really trying to get rid of him, they really don't like him, if they are really trying to sabotage or stop him from communicating, why is Gachagua still running around in these news conferences and these channels and speaking? Okay, I'll give you another example. Compare him to the case of Miguna. I mean, Miguna, people didn't like me. I mean, the state did not like Miguna. Sorry. The state never liked Miguna. He was a threat to the state because they felt like his words were resonating with the people. He was somebody who could have influence enough people to change or to overthrow the government. So what did they do? They deplatformed him. They made sure, sent a memo to any news station not to host him, not to give him any airtime. So Miguna relies on his X Spaces and other outlets that are not mainstream media. But again, Miguna has 3-point-something million followers. So that's why you see he still has a voice. Not as effective, but it's a voice. Nevertheless, it's effective in some, to some extent, it's still effective, okay? But all I'm saying is this. If Rigathi Gachagua was truly the enemy of the state, as majority of you gullible Wamunyoro followers think, Ruto could have done the same or given Gachagua the same treatment and try to deplatform him, not let him talk, not let him give these interviews on these major news outlets that they, Ruto and Raila and the Moi family, the media outlets that they own, okay, they will not be giving him a platform to speak, but he is part of the plan. That's why you see he's out there. They're letting him say what he's saying. He's part of the plan, okay? So that's why you see he's out there saying what he's saying. And for those of you who are unsuspecting, you're out there, you're mnafurahia, mnafikiri he's saying something like, oh, he's going to help us remove Ruto. No, he's not. He is part of the game. Just like Raila. Don't you find it's a coincidence that all these two people are all about, oh, listen, we are going to, they always have some announcements to make for their followers, for the nation. Ruto, Raila came back and told us to hold our breath. He's about to give us a huge announcement. Gachagua is also telling us, oh, ngojeni nitawapatia big announcements. It's always a big announcement somewhere, sometime. But they're saying a bunch of nothing. If anything, it's part of the plan. This is a huge long con game that they're playing on us because they understand, they understand the majority of the Kenyan people are very gullible, okay? And that's why we fall into this. So, like I say, we shall watch and see, like as they continue with this, this game of political conmanship, okay? Playing these demagogues, whipping up emotions, dividing the nation on tribal lines. They're trying to isolate the Kikuyu, the people of Mount Kenya, against the people of Nyanza, Rift Valley, and other places, okay? Let's not buy into this, like I always say, but we'll continue to see what happens. Now, I'm still waiting on the news of Martha Koome. As you know, there's a huge plan of removing Martha Koome. It may, I don't know if they've filed it, they've filed it yet, but anytime we should be hearing from the courts as to whether Martha Koome needs to step down immediately. Now, here's the catch though. Like I told you yesterday on my short video that I made that was faceless one, if you go read Article 168 of the Kenyan Constitution, which spells out the process of removing a Chief Justice or any senior member of the Supreme Court or justice system, or a head judicial officer, let me just say that. Let me say this. In order for them to remove Martha Koome, they will have to do what? And seems ready to do anything possible to survive. Absolutely. in order to remove Martha Koome, a tribunal will have to be put in place, okay? And one of the people who are going to sit on this tribunal is the head of National Assembly. And who is the head of National Assembly as we speak right now? Wetangula, okay? And what's the status of Wetangula as far as the legal status right now, as the court already ruled that Wetangula should step down because he cannot remain as the head of National Assembly, the speaker, because his party is not the majority. So if Wetangula steps down, who will take that seat? ODM or Azimio, since they are the majority in the National Assembly, they will choose who sits to at that National Assembly head, speaker. There's a lot of rumors that it might be Otiende Amolo. So think about it. If Otiende Amolo is chosen by the Azimio folks to become the Speaker of the National Assembly, he will also sit in the tribunal when they'll be hearing the case against Martha Koome, the case of Juris Pesa. For those of you who don't know what Juris Pesa is, basically a corruption case. There's a petition in place by Nelson Harvey and Nani Grand Mula that is claiming Martha Koome is corrupt. So again, all these things are interrelated, and that's why probably Martha Koome's case hasn't commenced yet. Maybe they're waiting to sort out this Speaker of the House, Speaker of National Assembly mess to be actualized. Because legally, like I say, legally, Wetangula needs to step down immediately, right now. He's just being intransigent. He's sitting there, trying to play this, legal mumble jumble, telling people that the only way he can step down as a speaker is if there's a motion to remove him as a speaker. But the truth of the matter is, the matter has been ruled on by the justice judicial system, and they've determined that Azimio are the majority, and so automatically Wetangula might be taken to court for failure to obey the law, okay? Because he needs to step down. So once he steps down, they will choose a new head of National Assembly, which will probably be Otiende Amolo, who will also, by the virtue of being the head of National Assembly, he will preside or be part of the tribunal that shall be hearing the case against Martha Koome. Go read Article 168 of the Constitution. It spells it out. You see how these things is intertwined? You see how they're playing it? Do you see now? Careful with these crafty people. So when you see Raila Odinga came back and was grinning, I could even see his December teeth. Okay? When he saw Ruto and he was speaking, seemingly so happy, excited. Ladies and gentlemen, it shows that the joke was on us. Those who are celebrating that he lost the AU seat, we were pranked to Mechezwa. He did not lose. He got the 13 billion, and they are well on course into ushering the new next dispensation that they're trying to be part of. They are going to be part of it. I started by asking you guys last time that why would Raila Odinga sign a binding contract document that is going to determine the next governmental dispensation, how the next government is going to be formed. Why would Raila sign it, then leave and go for the AU seat? Does it make sense? And I said, if that was the case, one of it was his real intention and the other was just a red herring. And I said, the AU was a red herring. It was done to be a way of legally, allocating money from the Kenya's treasury, 13 billion, to pay him for conceding defeat in 2022, because Raila always wants a piece of the pie. And Ruto understood that. Ruto was not going to pay that money from his pockets, so he had to order someone from the treasury, and it was illegally removed from the treasury, because any money that is supposed to be extracted from the treasury must have the approval of the National Assembly, and that was never the case. That money was not budgeted for. Raila even said that Ruto did not support him. It was his decision to go to AU. Then Ruto backed him up. Okay? So backed him up, and the state had to give him money for that campaign. He did not disclose how much money was spent on his campaign, even though he trashed the claim that 13 billion was not spent on his campaign, but he never told us the actual amount. Of course, the Auditor General is telling us that it was 3.5 billion. No one truly believes that. There's 13 people here, guys. Please hit that like button. Hit that like button and subscribe if you have subscribed, okay? But what I'm simply trying to address here is I just wanted to show you how interconnected all these things are. The system is this corrupt system, okay? Where can you like as I know? It's been 22 minutes. Where can you like very quickly, please. You like Milia, please. It's such a big, please. Where can you like? I have to see at least 10 likes here. Baba ashagaiwa cake wananchi tukule mkule nasima maisha iendelee. Ruto looks very desperate and seems ready to do anything possible to survive. Yes, Green hata kama ni kwa Kenya, he cares less. Okay, Baba was better being AU. Green is saying Ruto will use such big amount of funds to bribe Raila and his ODM goons to get them on his side. Absolutely. Put that like button iongezeke hapo tafadhali. So that's why I'm telling you, if you look at what or who will be part of the composition of the tribunal that is going to be formed to sit while they investigate the claims by the plaintiff, in this case, the petitioners, Abdel Nasir, Grand Mullah, and Nelson Harvey. The people who are going to sit on that tribunal while they investigate that claims are people who are automatically chosen, who are politically not aligned to Koome, do not have the interest of Ruto and Raila, and their interest is to remove Martha Koome in preparation for 2027 election, knowing very well that defeat is inevitable. But they do have a plan, my friends. They do have a plan. Where can you like hapo? Ni like tatu mpaka niweke like mpaka zifike at least 10 tafadhali. Where can you like? I need 7 more likes. Please like the video. I'm waiting for those likes. So you see what I'm saying? I see you. Karibu Gypsy Corner, I see you. Where can you likes? Where can you likes? I likes again. I need 6 more likes tafadhali. Yeah, so that is what I'm trying to tell you guys. And that explains why Raila is so excited and he feels like the world is waiting on him to speak, to tell everyone the way forward. He's going to link up with Kalonzo Musyoka. Like the video, ladies and gentlemen. There's 10 people here. I need 7 more likes. Can you like support? I like the pandit. Tafadhali. I'm giving you something that will help you. I'm your political dietitian. I'm giving you something that will help you, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends and comrades. I'm giving you something. I'm your political dietitian. I am giving you nutrients that you need to help you see what is happening in Kenya. It's a big, long con game by the political class, and we have to see it for what it is. Do not fall for this nonsense that, oh, Mwamunyoro is going to help us. Oh, Matiang'i is going to help us. Oh, Martha Karua is going to help us. If you think that way, you are being played. You are already a victim. If you think that way, oh, Raila is going to help us. Oh, Ruto is going to change things. If you think that way, you are already a victim. Okay? You are a victim. And you'll continue being so. So I'm helping you as your political dietitian to see things for how they are. See these people for who they are. They are con men and women. Just look at how Raila was greeting Ruto. It is not something. These guys have something planned. Unless there's any. The only way. Let me tell you something. I'm about to tell you something that will blow your mind. Not blow your mind, but it's something that you have to consider and think about. The only way, listen to me carefully. The only way this political class can crumble is if, A, we the people stand up and demand as the sovereigns to remove them, they step down, or if the political class themselves get into a dispute. Let me explain this dispute that I want to explain. That I want to explain. We can like happen. Nataka wa like tatu. I want to explain something to you. Let me explain something to what? To you. Ruto or Raila, Ruto or Uhuru or Raila wakikosana. If they kosana, Principal Kaura, I see you. Karibu sana. Please go ahead and hit the like button. Please, I need 5 more likes. Please, 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 please hit the like button. If the members of this political class, especially the ones, these billionaires, Kenyan billionaires, wakianza kubeef, wakianza kupigania kitu. Thank you, Gypsy. Thank you, Gypsy. If they get into a dispute or a fight over who is to get what, that's when the country can actually get to a point where it can get messy and bloody, but that's a way of how transition of power can happen. Either way, listen to me. Either way, I want you to understand one thing. Either way, for the political class to relinquish power, they will not go down quietly. Hey, wacha nirudie. These people who are in power, the Rutos, Raila, Uhuru, because those are the main guys. Let me tell you, just tell you. I won't hold you. Wachana na wakina Sijui Martha Karua. Those are puppets, okay? But they're also, as you know, they're useful idiots. But let me just explain something. These people who are in power, they make deals in order to agree Ruto akaikwa power. You understand? Ruto is there in power because amelipa hiyo 13 billion apatie Raila. You remember when Raila is the biggest extortionist, but let's move forward. 2017, remember, that handshake was only a handshake that was agreed upon after Nini. After Kenyatta, Uhuru released the dough. Alipatiana 50 million. Was it 50 billion or 50 billion? 50 million US dollars, okay? Uhuru Kenyatta had to release that money. Ndio Raila akafanya nini? Wakaenda wakachukua Miguna wakamtoa na NRM ikamalizwa hapo. You understand what I'm saying? So money has to be released. So mpaka hao watu wasikizane. So in the event, let's say Uhuru saizi, Uhuru akisema mazee, Ruto nafaa kutolewa. If Uhuru, for some reason, maybe because Uhuru's main fight, Uhuru's main interest in this, he doesn't care about the change of the regime or who's in the regime, but Uhuru's interest is to protect his family's businesses. Mnaelewa? As far as the Kenyatta interests, businesses are secure, the Kenyattas do not care about who is at the helm, because their interests are guaranteed, secure, aren't in place. So even if Ruto is the president, remains to be the president till 2032 or whatever the case is, but as long as Ruto does not interfere with the interest of the Kenyattas, they will be okay with him. They don't care how much he anapora. That's why Uhuru has been quiet. But immediately Ruto anze kumess na interest of the Kenyattas, that's when shida itakuwa. Unaelewa? I'm giving you an example. So just think about it like this. Let me give you a quick example so you can understand what I mean, okay? Let me give you a quick example, okay? Do you remember during the maandamano and Ruto alianza kusema even hawa watoto wa Moi na watoto wa the Kenyatta family and Moi family are supposed to pay more taxes. They should contribute more taxes. Remember that? Remember that? The next day, Jimmy Wanjigi and Mama Ngina were in a church. Okay? Na wakaanza kuzungumza. Na Jimmy Wanjigi said something in Kiswahili akasema, ukishika Kenyattas, ukianza kuguza mambo ya Kenyatta, unaguza live wire. Ukianza kuingia kwa mambo ya the Kenyattas, umeanza kuguza mambo ya live wire. And Mama Ngina akaanza said something in Kikuyu and whatever, akaanza kusema ati mwachane na mimi or whatever the case is. Do you remember that? So what I'm trying to say is, Ruto alianza kuguza interest ya the Kenyatta family, and that's when Uhuru Kenyatta got involved. Okay? So what I'm saying is this. The only way the Kenya's political class can fall is if the people washikane pamoja na waondoe whoever is at the helm. Or the second way is if one of these political class, these elites, let me use political elites, that's the word. If one of these political elites wakikosana wenyewe kwa wenyewe for whatever reason, where it's maybe because of power or their business interest, okay, wakikosana wenyewe kwa wenyewe, let's say if Uhuru wakikosana na, I'm not talking about the fake beef yao, kwa sababu let me tell you something about the 2022 elections. That was a fake beef between Uhuru and Ruto. Hakukosana. The deal was still on, because remember it was kumi yangu na kumi. That was the deal. So that wasn't the truth. So to say if there was a real beef between Uhuru Kenyatta and Ruto, William Samoei Ruto, then you could have seen the country descend into something more linear. And like I said, either way, the transition of power from the political elites relinquishing power to the people will not be a smooth transition. It won't be a smooth democratic transition. It will be messy because these guys invest so much. They've committed a lot of crimes. They've wameua watu, wameiba pesa mingi, and they know if the people become powerful and have power, they shall be prosecuted. And that is their fear. That's their biggest fear. So that's why they're doing what they're doing, okay? So understand that the only way these political elites can relinquish power is if the sovereign people of Kenya join hands together like the Gen Zs did to remove them, or if these political elites have a beef within them, a real one, wakikosana wenyewe kwa wenyewe. But either way, the transition of power shall be messy. And when I say messy, just expect something, let's say like watu watawana, kutakuwa na vita. Okay? Kwa sababu hawa majamaa, they'll try to use force. Unaona? Watajaribu kuchinja watu, washtue watu, abduct watu. You know, whenever you hear these abductions, it's a threat to them. They feel threatened. So they use this to try to intimidate the Kenyan people. Okay? We can like mbili hapo. I need 2 more likes. Samani aje. Add me two more likes. Right. So that's how they operate in Kenya. All right. So tuongezeni like mbili hapo. Like mbili, okay? Anyway, so that's what I wanted to say. I'll come in later, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll have another session and we'll have a discussion. Please, if you're going to watch this on repeat, go ahead and like, share, comment, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, I'll come in later where I'll let you guys come in and speak your minds, share your thoughts, okay? Ama namna gani? I'll just keep this into 30 something minutes. Yeah, share this with your in your political Facebook pages and all that stuff. Ama? Yeah, thank you so much, everyone that's been here. Pritpal Kaur, Shipsi Kona, Shimariam, everybody else. All right, and I'll see you guys later. Later. All right. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings.